Yeah, I don't feel good today.
No, you don't sound good today either, Timmy. That's not your usual bright, perky self.
They weren't in the game at all against the Bucks.
Well, I don't know that I would.
They were.
They were in it for a while.
They had a lead in the fourth quarter. The starters came in.
The bench had the lead.
The closest they got was 0-0.
No, I think they were winning like 83-82. Jimmy Rogers brought the starters in, and down the tubes it went. And like within a minute and a half, they were down by a dozen points again.
Why don't they just start the bench?
You know, if things keep up the way you're going, the way they're going now, Timmy, your suggestion may not be all that radical.
Yeah.
Quite right.
Yeah. Well, except for Parrish. Parrish had a great game.
Parrish has been outstanding all year.
The way Parrish is playing, he'll never last the whole season.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
And not the fact that the way he's playing, but it's how many minutes they're forced to play with him because of the fact that they can't gain a lead. He's been averaging almost 40 minutes. We'll check that out. We've got the paper right here with us. Big sports section in today's Globe. Can you hear it? It's really big.
Yep.
Okay.
I got the Herald here.
Does the Herald have an article on Bird getting the surgery?
Yeah.
But you didn't read it.
Not yet.
Way to go, Tim.
You just got in late. What are you, just getting dinner?
Yep.
Okay, well, how was classes today, Timmy?
Did the Northeastern hockey team beat Minnesota?
No, we just found out they lost both games over the weekend to Minnesota 3-2 and to Minnesota Duluth 6-3.
So
are they nationally ranked still?
They were nationally ranked 6th. We'll have to see what happens. I guess the polls come out. Heading into those games, they were 6th.
They should have been higher than that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter now since they've lost both those games.
They'll probably drop out of the top 10 at this point for at least a little bit.
Well, Minnesota's always one of the top teams in the country, and they played Minnesota very well. 3-2 loss.
Yeah, I guess after that they just weren't mentally prepared for 6-3. We don't have the stats here on Parrish's minutes, so we'll just.
I think Larry should get the operation now.
Yeah. You know, that's what we're going. Why don't we take a poll question every time someone calls up tonight? Let's ask them: should Larry get the operation now?
Yes.
Well, because it would allow him, if things went according to schedule, to be back for the playoffs.
Is there any way the Celtics can get Akeem?
Akeem Olajuwon?
I don't think they need Akeem right now. Akeem is definitely playing out of his mind. He's averaging something like 29 points and 12 rebounds a game.
Doing as a team.
Well, I'm sure is in here.
Yeah, I think they're 3-2. I think they're second in the Central.
Who's coaching? Is it Don Chaney now on the Rockets?
Don Chaney.
Yeah.
Don Chaney's coaching.
Former Celtic Don Chaney?
Yep.
And he also used to coach the Clippers, Don Chaney.
That's right.
Is Luke Orman going to pay Bruce Hurst?
Yes.
He's going to pay him.
And you can get 2-to-1 odds on that along with my guarantee.
How much?
How much?
A lot.
Let's see, the Houston Rockets, they're 4-2, tied for the top with Denver and Dallas, so they're up there.
And the best team in the league is Detroit.
Pistons 5-0. Are undefeated.
Has Danny Manning played a game for the Clippers yet?
He was supposed to start on Saturday night. He was signed Friday night.
He makes me sick.
Why is that?
He's a rookie and he's holding out for $10 million.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I go along with you.
That sort of makes me sick, too.
Until the players prove in the NBA that they can play in the NBA, they shouldn't get.
He couldn't do anything in the Olympics.
That's right. He came up with, 0 points in the game against Russia? I'd say this. Let's see if the NBA owners can ever come up with the guts to stand out and say, no, contracts for rookies only 1 year long, a standard rookie contract, maybe a signing bonus, and then they have to negotiate.
Just like in baseball.
Yeah, and then you get collusion.
Well, I guess it goes one way or the other. Yeah. Thanks for calling, Tim. You got any other opinions before we go on to the next caller?
Well, the Bears finally won.
The Bears finally won? Well, they've been winning all along, haven't they?
Do you think the Saints will go to the Super Bowl?
That's a good possibility. I would bet on the Saints and the Bears in the conference final.
The Saints have a chance. The problem was last year, they went 13-2 last year.
Yeah, but they got
creamed by
the
Minnesota.
first playoff game. They got killed by Minnesota.
Who do you think the Patriots will play in the wild card game?
I don't think the Patriots will make the wild card game.
Wait a minute. If they do make the playoff on wild card, the best chance will probably start off with Denver, because Denver has the same record as the Patriots.
There's no way they can beat Denver.
Well, it depends where they play. If they play in Sullivan, I'll take the Pats.
The Pats better not finish worse than 10-6.
I'll tell you what, especially if they make the playoffs and they play in Sullivan, I'll bet on it because Flutie's undefeated in Sullivan. Had to get a Flutie plug in there. Sorry.
Oh God.
All right. Well, thanks for calling, Timmy. We'll talk to you again next week. Keep listening, buddy.
Bye.
437-2657. Sorry to cut you off there, Hollis.
That's okay.
As he throws his arm in disgust.
Hey, since we're on football, you want to read the football scores?
I'm not reading nothing.
That's not like Dennis.
Hey, the answer's Brad Park, right?
Yeah, right. Dennis.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay.
You win nothing.
Oh, wait a minute. There are no tickets?
Sorry, buddy. No tickets this week.
No tickets to this week.
We're away this weekend. We're playing Holy Cross at Holy Cross.
Oh, we're home.
So no football. Well, I know. I don't think that was on the schedule initially. We had a mix-up on that. So sorry, no tickets.
Oh.
So what's on your mind tonight, Dennis?
I want to talk about the Bruins.
Oh, that's a surprise. You're usually a Hoops fan.
Come on, let's go. Talk about the Bruins.
All right, I want to talk about like the Bruins of today versus the Bruins of like yesterday.
You mean if both teams are...
The Bruins of Monday versus the Bruins of Sunday.
No, like a 72 or something.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, what do you think would happen if both teams were in their prime?
Yeah.
Who would you take?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you guys because I'm really not sure.
Okay.
The Bruins of today are only into the 17th, 18th game of the season, and the Bruins of 72, you have a whole season and a Stanley Cup.
Well, let's talk about today and last year, all right? Because they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's take his question and assume that we can work with it. I would say 72 Bruins, probably because they were better body checkers as a team. They could take the other team to the corners. They really had a good set of wings who could really dig the puck out and feed it in front. And Esposito was a scoring machine in the slot.
What about talent?
Talent?
Yeah.
Well,
It's hard to run down player by player, but overall, I would still go with the 72
Do you
Bruins.
think Bork could skate with the 72 team?
He'd skate
Sure.
better. The difference between the league now and the league 15 years ago is the skating. Much better skaters are in the league today than they were 15 years ago.
You can't compare Bork to like Orr though. You know Bobby Orr, number 4.
Absolutely.
Did you know him?
Not personally, but I used to hang out with his
we asked
brother.
him. No, get this. At last year's Bean Pod, we asked him to do an interview between periods, and he said, "No, fellas, I'm a little too busy. I'm at work."
Yeah.
So, like, he's sipping down martinis during the game, and he just wouldn't come down. He was sitting in the box right above us, and he wouldn't do an interview with us.
Bobby wouldn't interview with you guys? Did you tell him off?
Well, no.
Why?
How can you tell off Bobby Orr? He's a legend.
That's out of place.
But if he was being a jerk to you guys, you should have told him
He
off.
wasn't being a jerk. He was just
because he declined didn't mean he was a jerk.
Yeah.
Well.
We'll get him this year.
Okay, so...
We'll get him on this year.
So if you took the Bruins of today and put them in a game against the Bruins of 72, who do you think would win?
Well, I answered that from my standpoint as Bruins of 72.
Oh, well, what about Scott?
Oh, I don't like playing these hypothetical games.
Come on, entertain
the Bruins of today. Just because they're better skaters.
No, actually, it's just because I'm on the other side. That's all. Trying to incite riots? We don't like that on our show. Goodbye, Dennis.
What did he say?
He said, you guys going to fight now?
Where'd he go?
You guys are always fighting. If it's not Flutie, it's the Bruins.
No, I think just because the skating is much better today than it was then.
Yeah, especially on a large rink. I think the one thing that the old team would have is Bruins in Boston Garden. What about Boston Garden, by the way?